Boom! We are off with another episode of Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Alan Snyder, here with my boy, Zach. Put it on a table and it thuds. Elias, what's up, buddy?
It thuds. Comedy.
I picture you more for like a ding type of guy.
Should be so lucky.
Booze Your Daddy, the podcast. Tuesdays, we do it live. Saturdays, we post it later. People who are watching this, make sure you're rating the episodes. Subscribe, tell a friend, share the episode like our boy, number one fan, Ron Katz.
Ron Katz is big. Number 2 fan, Mike Schnitzer. He's been Wally pipped.
Meatball Ron Katz. Remember we were trying to make that a thing?
Meatball Ron is a thing.
We have a fun episode for... breaking news? Are we cutting in before the beers? Zach...
We should have some beers while we do this.
Zacharias, tell us what you are drinking.
Yeah. So, because I want to be nice to everyone at Super Bowl, I bought different kinds of beers. These didn't move at all. So I am drinking, because just to make room in the fridge, from Smutty Nose Brewery. They're always okay. The Finest Kind IPA. And it's got a Winnebago on it. Cool.
Camp Wanamango?
Yeah, Wanabango. And they get the otter, which I've been told I would be.
We're reruns, buddy.
Yeah,
I've heard this.
I'm aware. So,
Zachy, you ready for me to sell this beer?
yeah, let's sell me that beer.
From the Duclaw Brewing Company. Regular beer. A beer that tastes what beer should take like. No hops, no pops. No fruits, no toots. Regular beer.
I like it. No fruits, no toots. Usually your beer has fruits and toots.
Release the Kraken. Cheers, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, God. It's like welded on.
We have an amazing episode planned for today. Episode 169. What's in a name? But, Zachy, I don't know, man. You basically are jumping the line. No jerks, quirks. You texted me today. You even did a little promo, which this is the most work that Zach has ever done on the show. For people that think he does any prep or anything, you're wrong.
Yeah, well, check your phone. As they say, as you will always say. I call plagiarist.
Go ahead, Zachy. For people who don't have my phone.
Yes. At the Super Bowl, the term tush push was used by a Mr. J. Rosenberg, and everyone thought he was quite the,
Oh, Dr. J. Rosenberg.
Oh, God. What a proctologist is he? So I was watching the Pardon the Interruption program the other day, as I'm one to do. And there's a whole big thing to ban the, quote, tush push. It's not coming in clean. There it is. So I did a little research. And
do they follow Dr. Jason Rosenberg on some platform?
They might. Or they might follow us because he's a non-listener. If they do, the good people at Sports Illustrated also follow him. And so do the people at The Sporting News. So either he is going viral, we are blowing up, or I got the goods on him. It's a plagiarist.
Okay, so I have also been listening to more podcasts where tush push has been coming up. He said it at the time, where we call this in the comedy business the train of thought, or the common train of thought. Like, it basically, if you can come up with the same joke as other people, the most famous joke in the world is, I don't like cocaine, I just like the smell of it. It's just the common train of thought.
The most famous joke in the world.
It's the most common one that people think they've made up, and it's like, you didn't make it up, whether you've heard it or not. It's just like people think like that, man.
No, plagiarist.
Okay,
full on Milli Vanilli.
If you can find something that said it weeks or months ago, maybe, but they just started doing the tush push. I was there.
Do you think that he's the guy who started it?
No, I'm saying
tush push.
I'm saying that it's an easy enough joke to get to that a lot of people are going to make the joke. That's what I'm trying to say.
No.
Okay. Well, he'll never hear this, so...
I know, because he's a punk like that.
Wow, I can't believe we started the episode with this.
Yeah, I'm so excited. If anybody else, I wouldn't have cared, but for him, please.
Zachy, what's in a name? Where does that come from? Why don't you tell our listeners?
Probably Jay Rosenberg, because he's founding everything. I have no idea. What's in a name?
What's in a name is a famous line by famous author Billy Shakes. Maybe you've heard of him. He wrote this little play called Romeo and Juliet.
Never heard of him.
It's all about making sure that names aren't important. That's the whole point of, like, the Capulets and the Montagues. And
the Crucible would argue otherwise.
So I am in a very crucial stage in my life right now where
Yeah.
Do you have silent on your phone? I wonder if that's an
I
no,
do
you
not.
don't. Okay, just checking.
My phone didn't come with it.
Well, I am 3 months from having a kid, and we've already sat down to do this. Like, well, what are we going to name the kid? And
How old is how far along is she? 6 months already?
yeah, something. I mean, she looks it.
Oh, heyo.
Actually, doesn't more acts it. But the point
Oh,
being,
even worse.
Zach, I feel like I'm making the crucialist decision for something. Like naming somebody's name means a fuck ton, right?
Yeah. So when
And
we found out we were having a girl, now you got to double down on this. So we both went to our war rooms after the color regained in my face. And I went through every female name and wrote down my top 5. And she wrote down her genius list. And then we went and played chess.
my issue with doing that, as far as picking this name, is I don't want to give a name and then it gets nixed. And then when you do this again in, I don't know, a year, maybe 2, you got to come back with, oh, remember that name? And
No,
it just,
once it gets nixed, it's off the board.
I know. So I don't want to use up all my good stuff now.
Ooh.
That's
Why
what I'm
would
saying.
4 out of 5 of yours get nixed? There could be just one better.
All right, I'm just going to say this on her. I kind of don't care as long as it's original, meaning it's not somebody that I know or have had a very negative interaction with.
So no Zach, huh?
First off, we don't know the sex, so Zach could be in the running.
Ooh, lovely for a girl. Her name's going to be terrible because Jenna's names were terrible. Well,
I don't, it just, now your name being Zach, you always went with Zach, never Zachary, right?
Only when I'm in trouble.
And did you ever want a different name? Were you ever thinking to yourself like, oh, I'd sure like to be?
No, I don't know.
Never?
No.
You've never once thought of an alias?
What, like Claude?
It's your world, baby.
Yeah, no, I'm Zach. Is what it is. John, Mike. No. Well, okay,
All
what's your AKA?
I'm coming clean
Hans?
right now on a podcast. I don't think I've ever admit this to anybody in my life.
No,
Sometime during 9th and 10th grade in high school, for whatever reason, I started writing my name Allen instead of the way I did it. And I'm not even sure why. Like I was 14 years old and trying to find myself.
So your fake name is your name just elongated and like Goyashid? You're self-loathing.
Hi, I'm Alan. Have we met?
Yeah, exactly.
It came because I saw this in the news and it was in my Pishadoo section, but I thought we should just get out of the way now. I feel like a name change, a real life name change, is one step before you're in the loony bin or dead, right?
It's a real fuck you to your parents.
It is, right? Well, that's what
It's
we're picking these names.
a real fuck you because they made an ultimate decision there, and it's
That's how I feel. I'm going to name this kid something they're stuck with forever. Meanwhile, like names come around. The name could be bullshit.
That's a great name.
Bullshit.
Yeah. So how are you gonna do it? Are you gonna write like a list and then go with her while she's up there painting her masterpiece?
I honestly, at this point, just want to make her happy, and as long as it's
What's
not
wrong
something
with you? Just want to make your wife happy. You lose. That's loser talk.
I'm aware, but the point is I'm just doing the best I can right now. Until I start paying rent. Them's the breaks, kids.
I'll make your list.
Zachy, as far as name changing.
Oh, are you gonna do like a gender reveal on this thing on this
No.
fanciful program? No,
No.
nothing.
We're doing
Lion King it. You're not gonna do anything.
We're doing a pregger kegger, and then that's going to be wait until the baby comes out and has a schmeckle or not, or 2 schmeckles. Who knows?
2? The arrogance, of ego on you. You're getting a double dick.
Zachy, ya boy, former wide receiver of the Jets, Robbie Anderson, has chosen a new first name.
Okay.
Chosen Anderson.
Chosen Anderson? Like he's one of the tribe?
Chosen.
Converting?
I don't know if he's converting or if this is all part of the Jews for Jesus or something or Black Israelites, but I heard this the other day.
On Broadway that yell at me, that's the longest running show on Broadway. They're good. The guys who yell. Well, I mean, Maury Stoudemire was sort of Jewish and Zab Judah.
But he didn't change his name like Meta World Peace.
Yeah, it's true.
It's really weird. So, as far as names go.
Commando show, Dwight Howard has a big Hamsa.
You watch that crap?
It's not bad. Oh, you watched The Bachelor. And by the way, one of them is on it. I forgot her name already, but like she's dynamite on the show.
I'm so glad you brought The Bachelor up because it's on my list to talk about. Last night, there were 2 moments that like at this point, dude.
Name your kid Rose.
It's on my list except her niece's middle name. So as far as The Bachelor goes, I watched this like on the computer, doing work, whatever. There were two moments last night that I picked my head up and I could not believe what was happening. The first one was a lot of times they do these dates and they have on these bands that oh my God, it's Carlo y Rosita, and they lose their mind. And I'm going, I've never heard of any of these people ever. I mean, not even a little bit. Last night they bring out UB40 and I stand up and I go, UB40, and Julia looks at me and goes, who is UB40? I'm like, red wine.
Divorce.
That's your line for
Unless
divorce.
you're an annulment now. You can figure that out as easy.
The best part was, it's all these young white guys, and we're going, I didn't think they'd be that young. And Julia's like, I didn't think they'd be that white.
They're young?
So they have done the thing where, so you know her friend that we had that signed our Katuba, he manages the band War, right?
I know the song, yeah.
He has been a manager of that band for so long. What happens is somebody dies and they replace him. And then somebody else dies and they replace him. And next thing you know, the band's been around for 50 years and none of the
second biggest hit?
Why Can't We Be Friends?
War sings that?
Yeah, originals.
I didn't know that.
They're all my
yeah,
friends.
I know. Lowrider. Everyone knows that.
Oh, I did that one already.
Yeah.
They roll like 4 deep. No, look them up. They have like 4 or 5 songs, but that's it. The point is these bands keep going forever because if you just keep replacing one of them, you can keep going forever. Anyways, UB40 on The Bachelor last night, I was like, I couldn't believe they were getting work. Good for them.
It's a real show.
Second moment, which I was cackling laughing. Now, yes, the show's fake, but what they do is they have these girls that they start spiraling as the season goes. There was one last night who wasn't getting enough time, and she's crying because the guy's out with some other girl. She's in the hallway at the hotel, sitting there, bawling her eyes out. The other girl comes back from the date carrying bags and this and that, and she goes crying out. She goes, excuse me, I need to get in my room. You're sitting in front of my door. It was so fucking cringy.
That. I would do that.
Well, of course, she had to get in her room, but like the fact that they don't know which rooms they're all staying in, I was dying, dude. It was so good.
Why did Marlene put Frankenstein? Is that just a random comment, or is that a Big Daddy reference?
I think Frankenstein is that's Edgar Winter Group.
Oh.
Do you not know the song?
I do.
I
thought that was for your kid's name.
Oh, I think that's what she was going
like
at.
A Big Daddy call.
She's a big daddy person. Also calls her husband Big Daddy.
Go on.
Big Daddy from Cincinnati. That's his nickname.
Does he have old and loose skin?
All right, Zach, we're going to try something here. I saw something the other day online where my old kickboxing gym, I want to shout them out because they are going to be doing a kind of an amateur versus professional fights, which I thought was pretty cool. Now, I know you're not very well versed in these type of things, but I'm going to try something here where I'm going to share my screen here.
Oh, God.
And I'm going to tell our audience, we have to describe this. This is where people should be watching us, but it is what it is.
We're pretty sexy guys. You should watch us.
So what we're going to be doing here is starting off, the first fighter that's going to be in the first match here is my old sensei. The guy is a killer, but the nicest guy ever. His name is Lyman Good, okay? This guy shredded. I mean, right, like, guy can do no wrong. He's the nicest guy ever. I'm so grateful I got to train with him,
How do you
okay?
get those abs?
I don't know. It's all natural. I used to have to like kick him in the stomach and it hurt my foot. It was pretty brutal. Now, Lyman is going to be fighting in the first fight. And he's going up against a guy, Zach, that I'm hoping for our audience here. Can you go ahead and tell our audience, describe this guy with, I guess you call him an amateur. What's his name? Is Paul Antuo Fermo? I mean, he's got a nice looking jab there, right?
I'm supposed to describe him?
Yeah, describe him for our audience because Lyman is going to be going up against him, I think, in the first fight.
Has anybody in this thing ever seen the movie The Ringer? Because that's what it looks like.
That's not nice, Zach. Come on, man.
I'm not being not nice. I'm being honest. And this is the Bausch and Lomb test. He's receding hairline, as we are ones to do. He's gonna get killed. If this guy makes it 40 seconds, it'll be a goddamn miracle. I mean, all right. He better be a fucking animal because he looks like I don't know.
Fair enough.
I can't in 2023. I can't describe him.
All right.
Let's start there.
So
in 1993, this would have been easy cake to describe this guy.
Second fight, recently released from the UFC, Hurricane Shane Burgos. Guy's an absolute savage. I've never actually got to meet him or train under him, but he's going to be the professional, obviously fighting, and his competitor.
That was like an animal.
Oh no, Shane has a couple of fights. I can't believe they did.
I've actually heard of him.
Oh no, you've never heard the other ones, but
No,
Shane's a monster. All right, very good. So he is going to be going up against this guy named Joe
Jesus Christ.
Polike.
His last name's not important. It's gonna be fast.
Go ahead and
This guy
describe him.
looks like a first-year law student. Like he's gonna get his tits slit.
So it's
I mean,
funny
I'm
you say
sure
his
he's a
tits.
strong guy because he's a big guy, like a big
Guy.
Polak.
He also, when you say tits lit, I notice he also is pretty well endowed
he's busty.
upstairs.
He's busty.
Busty.
He's gonna get them knocked around. He's gonna get killed.
Okay.
He'll last longer than the first guy, though.
All righty. Moving on to the first.
Why are they doing this? Just like bloodbath?
Next fight is
Just to watch a man die?
A guy who actually won the Ultimate Fighter, the Lone Wolf, Mike Trezano, who's absolutely shredded. He's still in the UFC. He's doing very well. The guy is a very, very good fighter. And he's going to be going up against this guy named, I think the guy's name is Connor Christensen, who I've never heard of. But
good fight name.
I like this guy mainly, Connor, because he has my haircut. So
come on.
What are your thoughts on this guy here, Zach?
Come on. He looks like Butterbean shat him out. This guy is fat. He looks like a fat baby.
Fat baby. Okay.
I don't know where to go.
So
I bet you he's got some savage stuff to him. He's not all there.
All righty. Now, the next one, I actually don't know this yet. Maybe he's an instructor. Maybe he's a student. Christian Macaulay. I can't.
Looks wily.
He looks, but I don't know what he fights at, but this guy looks like he could definitely throw
he looks
down.
Like he's 116, but he'll kill anybody else in his weight class. Go on.
He's going to be going up against this guy. Let's do this. All right. Dead air.
This would be a lot easier in a different era.
All righty.
When there's many words that would.
Seth McMullen.
They all look like they drank the same water. There's just like lead in their water. At least he's Irish. I'm gonna give him a puncher's chance.
Puncher's chance. Shit.
Why are they doing this? Like just for the fun of savagery?
I'm not sure what's going on, but we still have the main event, Zach. Now, this
is
guy
it for charity, or is it the charity money going to the guys who lose?
This is the charity. Now, this is Nick Pace. He invented a choke. The guy he's not in the UFC, but he started way back in the day, and I believe this is going to be our main event.
Okay, he looks
Zach,
like an animal.
Oh, no, he's more of a jiu-jitsu guy, but the guy can definitely throw. Now, he's going to be going against Matthew Falanga.
Come on, man. I think he's in Zoe's Taekwondo class. I think he spars with my daughter, this kid. This kid's about 11. He's not all there either, by the way. Why do they all have glasses?
I don't know.
Are they going to wear the glasses in it?
These fights are going down on the 18th on March.
Where do I watch this?
You can buy your tickets at tsk.org/swing for the stars.
Going to it?
I think we have to go to this, right?
Where is it?
It's in Manhattan. I think it's Ace's Gym is what it's at. But people who want to go to this, I'm not sure what the angle is. But Zach, I don't like. What are they doing, right?
Where is Ace's Gym?
It's in downtown Manhattan.
Done. Like what day of the week is it?
Saturday.
Oh my God! Is that when?
The 18th.
This of next month?
Of next month, yeah.
We're there. It's a
God.
no-brainer.
So fun.
I mean, take my money.
I'm in bed the other night, look at these pictures, and as I'm scrolling down, I'm going, "What's the angle here?"
With Ron Katz, you're coming with.
Oh my God! But it's $40. So if anything, you're supporting them. I assume it's like I see professionals spar with little kids, where you just kind of stay on the outside, and I don't know what's going to happen with this.
One of them is going to get a little feisty and cock one of these pros, and it's just going to be on.
What you're going to see is exactly what I'm saying is me in the ring. They don't touch me for they might let them hit them, but there's ways of blocking punches, dude. There's levels. It's going to be great.
There's no blocking what those pros are throwing.
The pros aren't going to throw, dude. It's going to be light. It's going to be touching. It's going to be like patty cake.
Oh, why am I paying for that?
I don't know. I truthfully don't want to go, but if you really want to, we can.
I'm like, oh no! If someone's going to get just annihilated, I'll go.
It's going to be literally like they're going to be bopping them on the head, dude.
So it's not going to be like Johnny Drama and Chuck Liddell?
No.
That's what I want to see.
Zach, there's a little scandal I want to fill you in on.
Go on.
A couple of years ago, I went to this local restaurant. I can call them out. They're called Nettie's. And I was taken.
From? Oh.
No. I was taken there by Mr. Eat the Rat and his wife at the time. And they thought this is like the best food they'd ever had. They pumped it up. Honestly, dude.
You eat at Olive Garden.
It was I also lived in Manhattan at the time. It was decent Italian food, but the way they raved, whatever. I now since live right there, haven't been once. Anyways, they went viral. They have even made it onto Jimmy Fallon at this point. They have decided they will no longer be letting kids 10 and under in the restaurant.
Hate it.
Hate it because you have a kid 10 or under. As
Yeah.
somebody, if you didn't have a kid 10 or under, because I already looked into reservations, still can't get them.
Really? It's that popular?
So I texted my buddy. I was like, can you hear about this place? He is besides himself over this place. We're having an emergency dinner tonight to discuss this or something else. But even so.
What else are we going to discuss?
Meanwhile,
you haven't eaten yet? You have Italian after this?
Are you listening? Tomorrow night.
You said tonight.
So this place I'm taking him to tomorrow, by the way.
All
I
right.
almost put this on the Pishadoo list. They have the menu. It's like brunch, beers, on tap, gluten-insensitive menu.
Ugh.
2023.
23?
Gluten-insensitive.
Oh, Julia, coming to my aid. You said tonight. You'll edit it out, so Cicero, but nevertheless. Thank you, Julia. And hell hath no fury like a pregnant girl.
Zacharias, what you watching?
So the normal mainstays, but we did start Next Level Chef. Because we like
this?
all those.
Oh, that's the Gordon Ramsay. It looks terrible.
Zoe loves Gordon Ramsay. It's not as good as Master Chef. It's kitschy. It's got its shtick to it. Zoe's balls deep. Can't get enough. Zoe thinks this is the greatest show of all time. This is the next, MASH. I don't know. So we're watching that plus the others. BattleBots as well.
Do you
John
know
Oliver's back and less funny than ever?
Your poker face is getting critically acclaimed.
It's fantastic.
Okay, I also watch it. It's
this
not
last
fantastic.
episode wasn't that great, but
I'm still like 2 behind. But like, it's honestly, it's fine. But like, it's not great.
Fine,
it's
top notch.
You're out of your mind.
Although, if you put any other actor, I'd say it's fine. She's great.
Somebody else dropped an ipso facto in one of the things we were watching, and Julie and I were like, "Now there's the word whore. Somebody stole that."
Yeah, Jay Rosenberg invented that. What are you watching?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I didn't realize we were having a conversation.
We're not.
This is called being a sidekick, buddy. Get used to it.
Fine, go at it.
All right. It's my job here to report good stuff that I've been watching. Now, we suffer through these things so our fans and audience don't have to.
Loosely.
So let's go with 2 things that I started that I'm not into. One, 1899. We started on Netflix. I think I mentioned that once. Where
it's the Yellowstone Part 2.
No, that's I think like 1893. It's a couple of years later, but it is the show Lost meets Titanic. Anyway, they canceled it after the first season. We bailed 3 episodes. Don't watch it. Second show we started on Apple. Hello Tomorrow. Billy Crudup, Hank Azaria. It's like the new thing. I heard this on a podcast today. I've been trying to describe it to people. It's basically the Jetsons meets Death of a Salesman. What? It's so bad. It is like set in they don't give you a date when it's set, but it's like everything's from the 1950s, but very futuristic. So it kind of has that like Back to the Future-y, like, oh, it's the future, but still the past. We could watch that show on mute. You don't need words. You know exactly what's happening.
How was the Harrison Ford Shrink show?
Oh, decent. I was going to bring that up at a later time. It's decent.
Later time. No time like the present. Let's go. Like we're dead tomorrow.
But the one thing that I watched this past week that I need people to go to, I don't know if we're supposed to be recommending other podcasts to people because, we're trying to grow, but your boy, Mark Summers, was on the WTF Mark Maron podcast. And I honestly couldn't give a shit less about Mark Summers, but for whatever reason, I said, let me get into this. Now, his story is super interesting. I had no idea he was a paid regular at the Comedy Store. He is originally a comedian who can deal with hecklers and tell jokes.
Yeah.
He's got a very interesting story. So I definitely recommend people go to the Maron podcast. It's super interesting. But they start this podcast with, if you have not seen his appearance from the 90s on Jay Leno, stop the podcast and go watch that. I watched it once. I made Julia watch it. I need you to go watch it at a later date.
Right.
Just type in Mark Summers, Burt Reynolds. It'll pop up.
Burt Reynolds?
Zach, I'm not saying any more. You'll get back to me, and next week you'll report this. There are moments, but I didn't realize Summers, by the way, his real name Berkowitz. That was changed.
Yeah, I know that.
You knew that? You knew his name. Joe?
Oh, yeah. Tiny schmeckle. Baby dick. Like
so
Bregman.
That is the Whatcha Watchin'. People, go watch it. It's like 7 minutes. You can stop after 5. It's great.
Oh, I'm into that.
Zachy, Quirky Jerky, do you have anything more than what you got?
I mean, this just was cool quirky. It was actually seemed more quirky at the time. Federal officials say that more than 100 children worked in a dangerous job at a slaughterhouse cleaning firm Firm being sued for 1.5 mil.
What's
You
the
giving
problem?
underage kids working at a slaughterhouse cleaning up blood and bones?
It's called work, man. Back in my day, we walked uphill both ways.
Fair enough. All right. Bryce Harper, who I hate. Did you hear this?
No,
He
go.
didn't have a Sharpie and he couldn't give an autograph. So he was in an airport with a kid. He took off his shoe and signed it and walked around the rest of the airport with one shoe on.
I thought you said you didn't have a Sharpie.
He had a pen. Like, we didn't write on a piece of paper. He gave the kid a shoe.
Who does autographs anymore?
I don't know. But
That's the most unbelievable part of the story. Somebody
Yeah.
asking for an autograph.
I did just the Chernobyl train, all of that, and we'll get to that later. That train that blew up in Ohio. You know what the workers used to call it? 32 Nasty. 32 cars, and it scared them. They called it 32 Nasty. So that's a great nickname for anything. Just like anything could be 32 Nasty.
Julia, we're naming our kid 32 Nasty.
Something he hate me. I don't know. Mac McClung winning the dunk contest. That thing needs to go away. That dunk contest. Yeah. It's cringy like the home run derby. I had no idea who he is. He looks like he gave me one of those guys fighting the pro.
I thought it was Mac Miller when I saw that. I was like,
Mac McClung could be on the undercard of that pro versus amateur fight, and he'd get slaughtered. But for me, the showstopper, man serving 15 years for homicide in Bolivia, tried to escape, disguising himself as a sheep. Didn't get very far. And he's now getting back. His nickname was El Aranya. He put like wool over him. This is pretty much what it went as. He tried to escape jail dressed as that. I don't know. So good.
That might win. I haven't even gotten my Pishadoo's.
That was it. That guy was good.
I'm assuming there was like New Zealanders that were just standing around. They're like, oh, bloody sheep there.
Bolivia. Them too, I guess.
It was a sex joke.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's all I got.
All right, Zachy. Pishadoo of the week. I have 8 candidates, and let's just go in order and see what happens.
Yeah, that's get weird.
Candidate number 1. Now, obviously, things that happened in Turkey, Syria, one of them with the earthquake. Was Turkey. Oh, both of them. Okay, I'm not off to. Yeah. I'm getting advertisements now for something called an earthquake bed. It's basically a bed that you lay on, and then if a earthquake comes, there's like a trap door, and you fall through it, and you are covered over like a coffin, and now you're alive. Who the hell is sleeping in a bed like that? Married men?
Take my money, yeah. Is there a pillow menu that comes with it?
Oh my God, the fucking pillow menu. I'm never going to hear the end of this.
Yeah, you and Granella. That bitch.
Candidate number 2. Damar Hamlin.
What you should do? Just the fact that this thing exists?
Yeah.
Okay.
Damar Hamlin was at the Super Bowl, and he was wearing this.
Pishadoo?
No, well, he was wearing this jacket that had a cartoon Jesus on it, and people lost their freaking minds about this, and he's had to apologize. He can do whatever he wants for a little bit, right?
I mean, what's wrong with cartoon Jesus? Jesus had 2 ads in that game.
I don't get that.
Jesus is advertising everywhere.
That's what I'm saying. I don't get why this is so bad. It wasn't like
a. So who's the Pishadoo? Jesus? People who like Jesus?
People who were upset at him and made him apologize.
Yeah, he can do what he wants for a while.
Candidate number 3.
He died twice. Just like Jesus. That's one more time than Jesus. Oh, I'm back.
I'm back, baby. I've heard about this on many different occasions, but apparently now Ashton Kutcher is promoting orange juice in coffee.
Ew.
Would you try it?
Yeah, and here's why. So I was up in Massachusetts over the weekend, and we went out for dinner. The dinner is this weird, really eclectic menu. It's like Western Mass and earthy and hippie-ish. So the one item I made fun of was a peanut butter and jelly burger. And I kept making fun. And you know what? It hit me. All right, let's fucking... I talked myself into actually trying it. It was more of a satay, and the jelly was like onion jam. But I'll try anything once. Let's get crazy.
They have these things. Remember that gay bar I took you to, the 123 Burger Shot beer?
Yeah, I remember that.
They have peanut butter wings that we tried one time. Inedibly gross. Absolutely terrible.
But you tried it.
Yeah, I didn't try it once. I'll try it.
Right.
I was at this.
Yeah.
Candidate number 4. Kamala is out there promoting electric vehicles, electric buses, and her big selling point is you can charge your phone in a USB on a bus.
You can charge on a gas bus too.
That's the point. I didn't get what that was a really weird one. And the next one's my personal favorite, although we have more. This past weekend, Michigan State women's basketball was going on, and there's women, and they're laying up and shooting. And as the ESPN reporter, he's telling you about it. He then segues into, and now back to some real basketball.
Oh! Wow!
Oh, yeah.
Wow!
Oh, yeah.
Did he get lit up?
I don't know the aftermath. I imagine he got in a little bit of trouble of it.
Yikes.
Next candidate. You ever watch Naked and Afraid?
Not often.
They're survivalists. They're supposed to be like the really smart
Yeah.
people at this. One of the contestants during the filming burnt his penis by sleeping too close to the fire.
Yeah, we've all been there. Yeah, that's not great. I mean, loose ember goes flying.
Candidate number 7. You and I are very, very firm on when you call and when you don't call somebody, right? Like, it's got to be a freaking emergency.
Yeah, like when I got that book.
So what if I told you this morning my pregnant wife leaves to go run an errand? I then go to work. 20 minutes later, I get a missed call from her. I'm now like, oh my God, what happened?
Yeah.
I rush to my car. I call her. What's going on? Called to let me know there was an accident and I should take a different way if I'm driving that way.
Oh, that's nice of her.
You know what? It'd be great if I didn't have GPS on my phone already and it tells me stuff like that.
It does tell you stuff like that.
But that was
pregnant wives are also they were great before GPS. They would tell you when the exit is if you passed it 3 hours ago. Things like that.
The original GPS are women.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you missed the exit. It's 4 back.
That was going to be my anchor, but something else happened today that I think I'm going to move it up, and I think this is our winner.
Yeah.
I went to a patient's house.
Did you light her up, by the way?
I didn't light her up. I just, I started the ignition type of deal.
I would have lit her up.
I'm watching Family Matters at a patient's house today. She's busy finishing up in the bathroom. The TV's on. It was a great episode. Urkel did the Urkel stuff. I then take a picture and
Still
send it
was Laura Winslow?
a little too well done for me, actually. I was more of a who was the aunt? Aunt Rachel? That was more my flavor.
Oh, Holly Robinson Pete.
Different show, but yes. Or Jack Hay.
What?
She was in You People. We finished that, by the way.
Yeah, it was terrible. Her best role was in Ladybugs.
Oh my God. So I then send a picture to Samantha, my sister, and Shelby. And I say, I'm watching this. And then I get back I love that show. And Shelby sends asterisk, did I do that? Asterisk. At which point I'm going, oh my God. Like, are kids now not knowing the difference between quotations and asterisks? Like,
kids, she's our age.
She's not our age. She's like 10 years younger, man.
And
Zach, why? How? Why?
You are the Pishadoo. Because the fact that you didn't immediately put me on that thread to just tear into her. I know all of them inside and out at this point. So, not inside and out, but outside and out. But nevertheless, I would have just walked out of the meeting that I'm in and called it. I got an emergency. I got to deal with this.
So we're going with Shelby on this, right?
Or the Maryland school system. Anything that doesn't teach that stuff. But yeah, that's bad.
Zacharias, we've made it pretty deep into this episode. You have not commented on my lobster bead that I have here.
Lobster.
So it's a lobster.
It's like dangling beads.
It is beads that I wore special today for Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras grown on this week, where I went to Red Lobster a couple weekends ago with my in-laws.
Of course you did.
We wanted to go to Olive Garden, but there wasn't one close. Julia said you were going to just light me up for this. And I got a lobsterita. Do you know what's in a lobsterita?
Lobster juice and...
No.
Ice?
Basically, it's all the stuff that you would get in a regular margarita in a bigger glass, and then they give you this little lobster on a beaded necklace and charge you $17 for it. How you doing?
Who paid?
Mama always pays.
So wait, it's not a Sopranos situation? You eat, I pay? How is that possible?
If I have to sit there with her family, she has to pay. Okay?
But her money is your money. How are they not paying? Eldest at the table pays.
I'll give you another quick little trivia before we get into trivia, because I have some today.
Oh, wait, did you show your tits for that thing? How'd you have to get...
Yeah, no, that's $17 margarita, and you get one of these things. Zachy, what is the most expensive thing on the menu, and how much at a regular old Red Lobster? Not Manhattan, a regular old suburb.
Do you have a lobster thermidor on there? Or
It was surf and turf for how much?
At
Red Lobster.
It's overpriced. I'm going to say $53.
Jesus Christ, Zach. It was $52.99.
Boom. The kid's got it. He's on it.
I could not believe it. A Red Lobster. It was that much money.
How was it?
It wasn't me. I don't do that. I got the shrimp tacos.
If they were paying, would you gotten the surf and turf?
Nope. I order the same thing no matter who's paying.
Get the Friday Alpha when they pay. Go big.
Zach, Today, because it's Mardi Gras and Ash Wednesday's tomorrow, and we got to get it in. I am going to be.
Wednesday is a whole thing. I always want to give them and like wipe the schmutz off their forehead.
This is the first time I've ever known about it. Usually, I'm like, what? Oh, I get it.
Yeah, I never know ahead of time. It's always just you ruin the joy for me.
I'm going to be testing your knowledge today on Mardi Gras. Are you ready?
Yes, thank God. It's better than that than like Resurrection. And
Question number 1. Where was the first known carnival celebration? Was it New Orleans, Nice, Paris, or Rio?
You give me 2 in France, so it's probably Nice. So I'm going to go Rio.
Correct answer is Nice. Should have went with her.
Yeah.
Question the second. Plus or minus 40. When was the first Mardi Gras parade in New Orleans?
In New Orleans. Okay. Let
me know if you want me to give you a hint.
No, I never want a hint. I'm going to say the first Mardi Gras celebration was in 1931. Way earlier?
Way earlier. That's why I don't know if it was a state at this point, but it at least was a city. That's why I was going to give you a hint. Way earlier.
1809.
1837. So you would get that correct. Question number 3. A man dressed as whom was credited with popularizing throwing beads during Mardi Gras? A. Farmer Fran. B. King Bacchus. C. Jesus. D. Santa Claus.
Bacchus.
Correct hint. Correct answer is Santa Claus.
Get the fuck out of here.
I know, right? Now, I always put these in alphabetical order. I really wanted to put Farmer Fran as the last one. Do you know who Farmer Fran is?
No.
It's the guy who was on Boy Meets World, who's in all the Adam Sandler, like,
that's Farmer Fran?
The real name? I had to look it up, Farmer Fran. I had no idea. Question number 4.
He's great on Boy Meets World. Good pull.
The king cake is the signature dessert of Mardi Gras. Yeah. What is typically hidden inside of it? A beads. B, money. C, a plastic baby. D, a whistle.
Baby.
How did you know that?
I don't know, man. Like, I know things. And I'm drinking. And you like bite your tooth and it hurts and you're supposed to have a kid next.
All right, not doing that. And last question.
I have one.
What does purple signify during Mardi Gras? A, justice. B, nothing. It just matches with the colors. C, the Ravens Super Bowl 47 victory.
This fucking guy.
Or D, wine.
I think just nothing.
Correct answer is, and it's funny because you released a really good promo for tonight's episode about serving justice. The correct answer is justice, apparently.
Really?
Where green is representing faith and gold represents power.
Power. Justice. A plagiarist.
Boozer Dad of the podcast. Thanks for listening to tonight's episode. Zacharias, the XFL has started. How many minutes are you watching?
I've already logged about 6 minutes. I don't hate the kickoff thing. I put it on by accident, like after the All-Star game, and stuck with it to see what it was doing. The kickoff where they're like lined up like this, it was weird. It was fun. Other than that, the like 9-point plays, it's stupid.
I'll be watching 6 less minutes than you've already watched.
Yeah.
We out.
Those will be my only 6 minutes.